How's it going, guys? A little bit of a different video today. Instead of the usual ship posting and highlights and whatnot, today I've got a little bit of a run review, in particular IS2 run. And I wanted to share this one with you because it's a challenge that I've been attempting for quite a while, as well as a few people in our Discord server. If you want to join the Discord server, it's in the description down below. But if you've guessed from the title and the thumbnail, I mean, you probably don't have to guess, but you already know. Yes, this IS2 run is a Chen solo run, not the Chen, the Holland OP shotgun boom 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 one shot everything Chen, the guard Chen. So I'm gonna go through this run a little bit as it plays through. I'm gonna talk about how this run can be possible, and talk about like the things that we need to make this run work. Of course, this run was recorded on my phone, so you're not going to see my mouse. You're not going to hear any commentary from me. This was done basically off stream, which is not the norm, I guess. I was just doing runs in my free time. But anyways, let's talk about this run a little bit. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. I'll put it on 1.5 times speed because some of these first levels are pretty trivial. But basically, I've been theorizing that a Chen solo IS2 run has been possible for quite a while now, and I think it is doable, and you'll see that it is almost doable as we go on through this run. But we've seen a lot of IS2 solo runs done with characters like Thorns, Mudrock, Golden Glow. I'm sure there are more, but for these operators, Thorns, Mudrock, Golden Glow, they all have things that help them beat the stages very easily. Thorns having his infinite uptime skill 3 when it's fully charged up, and it has like really good range. So really all you need for that is good attack speed items. Golden Glow is pretty much the same because she has a global range attack. And Mudrock just can sustain herself. I'm going to pause on this explanation in a bit because I'm going to talk about this opening. If you saw a little bit earlier, I took the leader squad, which is the temporary health, the 4 temporary health. You add that with the IS2 skill tree thingy. I'm not really sure what it's called, but you get 5 temp health for every level. And the reason I take this one is because a lot of levels later on kind of require you to leak just a little bit. People in my streams have suggested taking the guard insta E2 squad, and I think it's kind of a waste because although it gives you that guaranteed E2 Chen at the start of the run, it doesn't really help you later on. So luckily for me, on the first level we did get a guard voucher. I am leaking a lot here because I kind of just took the gamble that on an EO stage, whatever it's called, emergency ops, you kind of just want to go for these if you have enough HP because it gives you the extra item. And for a Chen solo run, there's a lot of RNG involved in the artifacts that you get, or the items that you get, that really help you complete the run. So we got another guard voucher here, kind of unlucky. Also, the item we did end up getting was bad. End of times here is what I decided to go for because there are a couple levels that kind of just make you insta lose. One of these in particular on floor 3, which we're not there yet, we're on floor 2. The one in particular on floor 3 called With the Crowd is a 5-lane map, which basically can't hold with Chen. So that's kind of impossible. So yeah, that was a little bit of explanation on the opening to the run. I'm going to go back to the solo thing. I was talking about the operators with Mudrock, Golden Glow, and Thorns. I do remember seeing a bunch of other solos done by like really, I would say, trash operators that you would never think could solo IS2. And most of these runs were actually done with the item called Excessiveness, which kind of just deals, I think it does 3000 true damage to all units on the, or all enemies on the map when something leaks. And all they do is just stack a shit ton of HP, and the final boss, which is most likely Lucian, would just die before even reaching the box. Another thing is they stack HP and just let Lucian leak. The idea for the Chen run isn't to actually do this. The idea for the Chun run is to go Big Sad Lock boss and try to kill him before enough enemies spawn and leak. And this should be doable because there are a lot of guard items that help Chun basically solo him. And if you get the spinach or the spaghetti and the drug, then Chun S2 does a shit ton of damage. Gopnik spawn here is, you might say, lucky, but I don't think I managed to kill him here, unfortunately. Maybe if I got one more physical dodge here, I could have killed him, but I didn't manage to. Another thing to note is that I did pick up the crane on the first shop. Now, tactical equipment for Chun solo runs, basically only 2 of them are really good. The crane and the SP gen little station thing. Because one of the main things about Chun skill 2 is that although you can pop it on spawn, you kind of need to gen it for like fast uptime. So the SP gen gives you that uptime, whereas the crane allows you to get a second HP bar at the sacrifice of a little bit of leakage if you don't time it right. Yeah, so I did get the crane, and this crane is going to prove to be very useful as you see later into this run. But another thing I'd like to note on the topic of SP gen is that because of the new module upgrade system, the Chun self SP gen is basically doubled, if not a little bit more than doubled. The SP gen rate is increased, and on top of that, she gives herself 2 SP. So her skill 2 uptime is a lot higher than it was before. And I did try runs before the module, and I think the highest I ever got was floor 4, which is still pretty decent. But you'll see in this run, we actually almost finished IS2, and it's pretty tragic at the end. But we're going through the run as usual. Now, for core items to make this run really work, one thing that's really important is that you need some sort of sustain. So at the moment, I only have the tablet, which gives you 10 HP per second, I think. You see, it's doing a little bit of gen, but it's nowhere near enough because Chun kind of just takes too much damage. And you see the crane actually kind of saved us there on the HP because we got to redeploy her. But 10 HP per second is really not enough. The other item that gives you HP regen is the perfumer thingy, which gives you 1% HP gen per second. And there's actually a new item that came with the ending 4 on the latest IS2 update that actually gives you 2% HP gen per second. So if you get either of those, it's really good. If you get both, it's insane. Another thing to note is I just picked up the Blade Dance item from the encounter. That is one of the really important items for a Chun solo run because you're guaranteed to get it on Chun, as you can see here. And that increases her HP by a whole 100% and attack by 100%, which is absolutely busted. It's one of the most important items for a Chun solo run. Talking about HP gen, we've got those items. But for damage, basically any guard book is pretty good. Most of them, I think 1 or 2 of them give like extra HP. I know one sacrifices defense for extra HP. That one's not too bad either, especially if you go for Big Sadlock, because Big Sadlock does arch damage, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But another book that's really good is the 2 SP gen per attack. And the reason why that's so good on Blade Masters like Chun is that because she attacks twice per attack, that book actually procs twice. So instead of giving her 2 SP per attack, since she's attacking twice, it actually gives her 4 SP. If you add that to the extra 1 SP she gets from attacking, she gets 5 SP per attack, which is absolutely nuts. If you can get that onto the bear boss, you're basically spamming skill 2, and he should be dead in like really fast. Okay, so we're on the floor 3 boss. This is probably one of the better bosses to get for Chen solo runs, mainly because you can, if you get a good spawn like he is now, or the far right spawn, you can camp blue box or you can camp the red box. So in this case, we're gonna camp blue box. The other boss that's really good for Chen solo runs is, I think it's called Terrifying Legends. It's the one who ramps up his attack speed as he keeps attacking. And the reason why that one's pretty good as well is because you can kind of just wait for him to walk by that initial spawn point and then camp the red box on the far left and leak the boss, which is a -5, but it doesn't matter because of your temp health. So I'm gonna fast forward through this particular bit a bit more, because really this is just, you know, just timing your shings so that you can kill both casters at the same time. Now the blade dance really carries me here, because I think without the blade dance, I would not be killing these casters in one hit. So I leak 5, which is, you know, not actually any HP at all because temp health, so it's all good. Now I'm gonna go back to 1.5 times. These items that we're getting are not particularly very good. If you've noticed what items we've gotten so far, the only 2 items that are really good for us are the blade dance and the tablet, which is honestly doing quite a bit of work with just those 2. But if you can imagine if we got just a little bit luckier with the items and got some of the core items that we need, like the self-heal or the on-skill use increased damage, the spinach and whatnot, then this would be pretty trivial, I guess. I'm gonna go back to 2 times speed, because I don't think there's much use in me explaining my placement here. Basically, for each map, I kind of try place Chen in a position where she can hold every lane at the same time. And if she can't hold every lane at the same time, then she's at least in a place that can hit the other lane with her ability. Unfortunately, gonna leak 1 there, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this is one of the newer maps for the ending 4, Alpine Visitor. It's pretty troll because these freeze things kind of just keep freezing the enemy. I did forget to mention that actually in this particular run, if you noticed or didn't, I'm telling you now, I did not end up getting the bear, the painting with the bear thing. So in this particular run, I'm actually going into a Lucian ending, not a big sad luck ending. And the reason why that's important for me to mention right now is because that's kind of the reason why this run didn't end up going through. So I use the clock on to skip unending because I can't beat that with Chen. It's a 2-lane hold at the ending, and skill uptime is not enough to prevent getting hit multiple times by the chargers. So I thought I might as well save my HP because I have a lot. Might as well save my HP, just skip through it. And we're going on to this dance. I don't know what it's called, dance together or some shit. I forgot the name of this map. But I'm gonna spawn camp blue box because these blind men with their canes, you can't really hit them unless you wait for them to walk to you. So this is the best spot for Chen. You can also kind of kill the casters. It's kind of tragic that I didn't get at least 1 attack increase item, because if I did, I probably could one-shot these casters with the skill. You can see I'm not too far off. But the redeploy here is what really saved me, because Chen was about to die, and being able to redeploy her there is really big. So kill these 2 drones, gotta let 2 leak, because I mean there's no other choice. And yeah. My Chen is pot 4, by the way, which is okay, but pot 5 gives her a increased dodge chance by like 3% only. I mean, 3% matters, let's be real. But I don't think it's a huge game changer. But the pots, I think pots kind of do help. So if you're thinking of doing it or attempting a Chen solo run, then maybe consider that or borrow someone else's Chen. There are times where I've borrowed Laser's Chen. Laser is a user in my Discord channel or also a regular Twitch viewer of mine. He has a pot 5 Chen. So he has the extra dodge, but it doesn't really matter that much. I'm gonna take note here, actually. I do have a little whiteboard thing. I'm gonna take a little bit of a note here. Where is my mouse? Sorry. Okay. That I initially put her here. Oh, the skill thingy and facing this way. And then later I swapped to here, which honestly, both of these spots are really bad. And I should have done here facing up. So that's a little bit of a hindsight, you know, mess up. But look, we live and we learn. And I think because of that mistake, I leaked a lot more than I should have. Also dying to a Gopnik there. These spawns, these extra spawns are actually pretty good for solo runs because it just gives you an extra item. And more items is better. We go into a shop here. This shop is complete garbage, so we just pick up the extra HP. And nothing else here is really good. But this is rare for Chen solo runs to make it this far. To a floor 5. It's already really good. Because usually Chen solo runs, they kind of just die out in the first 3 floors because your Chen is either not E2'd or you have no like way to self-sustain. Because for this run in particular, the redeploy and the tablet really saved me hard. So in these upcoming levels, I'm gonna do a lot more analysis because I don't usually make it this far. So it's better to know what I did wrong in these stages. Because in this case, I could have done better placements to actually, you know, save me a little bit more HP. Now, this placement here facing down, initially what I thought was that I would be able to kill these guys here and hit the runners at the same time. Now, the idea seems good at first, but really the problem comes with the fact that I don't gen SP. So the uptime of my skill kind of just doesn't work out. And you'll see that she kind of just gets bonked and gets stunned. And I almost even lose this run because of that. And I'm minus 14 HP. Which is just really bad because I had so much HP stocked up. So at this point I'm thinking, damn, I think I just threw the run because I ran out of HP. Another thing is you'll notice that my items are so bad. Here's another shop that's okay. I did get the SP gen item I was talking about, the +2 SP, or rather +4 on Chen. So that's really good. And I'm gonna pause it right here because it's like it's going really fast and you might not have noticed. But let me just slow it down just a little bit. Go. So at this point, I have like no good items. This is my only good item, plus Blade Dance. We call it BD. And plus Tablet. Right? And I have like 13 HP. I'm thinking this run is so over. I have 13 coins and I have 35 hope. My only hope right now for this is to be the hope gamble. Because I have so much of this that I do not need. That's the only way I can do anything. And we play this back now. You'll notice that I luckily got this, and I basically get to gamble all my extra hope away. And during this, there's a few things that I really want. I want really good artifacts or items, and I want a lot of HP. I got an artifact that gave me HP, and at this point I also realized I'm not even on the bear boss, because I hadn't realized this until now. Sometimes I do forget because I do a lot of these runs, so they all mold together, and then I kind of just forget. But we get the 1% HP regen, which I talked about earlier. That's really good. And I keep going. It's another useless item. There you go. That item's pretty good. It's 25% increased attack. Also, I will mention that me commentating on this right now is kind of on the fly. I did this run like a week and a half ago, so I'm not like 100% fresh on the whole run, but I do remember it quite a bit because it was the closest I've ever been to beating IS2 with Chen solo. I get more HP there. Money, not really useful at all. More hope, that gives us more gamba. More money, useless. Would be nice if we got an attack speed item, but unfortunately that's not the case. More HP. We're down to our last little bit of gamba. Starting DP is really good. And then the one is over. So now we're 42 HP, and we have one more stage to go before the boss. Now, the Knight of Ritual is not too bad of a level. Only problem is that because it's 2-laned, you kind of have to... you kind of just have to leak one side. Unless... See, if I face my Chen down, maybe I could semi-hold this other lane. Problem is, though, is that because these guys that kind of just disable your units with the caster guys, what I was thinking was that I can do this, kill this guy, kill the caster here, right? Then let this caster chain my Chen, then I'll use the redeploy, and then redeploy her here, and then kill this caster. My thought process doing this was that I could save as much HP as possible doing this. However, I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit. We're gonna go back to 2x. You're gonna notice in just a bit that I severely miscalculated the damage because it doesn't one-shot him. And so in the end, I had to leak every single unit on this bottom lane, and that's minus 17, which is in reality minus 12. I get a dodge item here, which is not bad. But we're going into the Lucian boss, and this is the furthest I've ever made it with a Chen solo run. And here, I'm gonna make the most mistakes I've ever made in any of these runs. We're gonna start with this deployment right here, which is absolutely tragic. One, because it doesn't hold this lane, which is a little bit hard to hold either way. It only holds these, and it lets these casters continue going around in a circle. The better deployment that I thought of like later was that I should have done this facing right. This is a classic Thorns deployment tile for Lucian boss, because Thorns can hit all of this, and that includes 3 tiles here with these casters coming in. But in my case of Chen, this tile facing right would at least guarantee me to hit at least one guy every burst rotation. You're gonna see why that's important in a bit, because it kind of screwed me over. We're gonna go back to playing, and drones is also pretty important. I would be able to hit a drone there if my Chen was there facing right. But you're gonna see these casters just keep going around and around. I'm gonna try the damage test on this defender. Notice that, you know, I can't even fucking kill him. And so the casters come in, and the problem now is that at first I thought, I know this is dumb to mention now, but at the moment I'm pretty sure I kind of forgot about this fear thing. And the problem is that they come here and they don't really... You can't really hit them until they're in this square. And by the time they get to that square, your Chen has tanked too many shots. And it's not really a matter of HP because I do have HP gen. It's a matter of getting feared. If I get feared, I can't Xing and I lose a bunch of DPS and HP because things just walk through. Another thing to also note is that Lucian is on the board right now. He's already made it through halfway the map. And if going back to this tile, I would be able to at least hit him once in one of these two tiles. So at this point, I've given up on killing any of these guys. They're just gonna leak. I have so much HP. My only goal is to kill Lucian. And so I put her on this tile. Yeah, I'm gonna... Sorry, this is going so fast. I'm gonna go back to 1x and I'm just gonna rewind just a little bit to around here. So at this point I decide all of this, all of that is gonna go through. And there's really no way I can stop it. Because if I can't kill Lucian, I'm gonna die either way. So my only option right now is to kill Lucian before he gets to the end. And I've played enough times to know that he goes AFK on this tile right here. And so my idea is that if I can somehow kill him in this straight, everything will work out. First Xing, he completely dodges. Now the thing with Chen skill 2 is that it does damage in two instances. One in physical and one in arts. Which means that he either dodges one, both, or neither. And unfortunately, out of, I think I did 3 Xings there, I only hit him with about 3 or 4 instances of damage there. That did half his HP. And every time I think about this, I think about how if I had just placed my Chen on this tile facing right, there's a chance that I could have hit him with both instances of damage as he walked past these two tiles. And it could have allowed me to kill him when I redeployed on this tile facing right. Another thing to say is that I'm almost certain that if I had gone bear ending in this run, if I had been in bear ending this run, I would have 100% been able to beat him. Just because of the SP gen, the HP regen, and the redeploy. If I had anti-heal on Big Sadlock, this run would have been a win. So anyways, that's it. I just wanted to share this run because I've been trying this run for so long. And yeah, a couple of us in the Discord server have been trying it in our free time. And if you're interested in trying it, by all means, go for it. It's a pretty RNG heavy run. So if you're the type of guy to give up easily, I say you're gonna have a bad time. So really only do this if you're kind of bored and have time to kill and don't mind just, you know, wasting some of your time, because you're gonna be wasting a lot of time doing this shit because you really need good RNG. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this little run review. And I know it's not the usual type of content on my channel, but again, I wanted to share this because it was really painful for me to make it this far and then kind of throw it basically. So yeah, see you next time as Lucian will walk into my blue box. All right, bye bye. Yeah.